The Phantom Menace. Written and directed by George Lucas. Rick McCallum, producer. George Lucas, executive producer. The Phantom Menace, written and directed by George Lucas. An all-time masterpiece. Every story has a beginning. An all-time epic masterpiece. A lot of politics in this movie. All throughout the prequels. Politics. Senate proceedings, procedures, protocol, political donors, bureaucrats, representatives, and senators. References made to the procedure and legality according to the Senate. A lot of politics, as this world presented by George Lucas is a political world. A world of politics. A lot of politics in this movie, The Phantom Menace. Written and directed by George Lucas. An all-time masterpiece. Epic. And we meet the Jedi. And we are introduced into the world of the Jedi. The Padawan learner and the Master Teacher. This system, as well as the Jedi Temple, and the meeting hall for the Jedi Council. And we see all the various different races represented on the Jedi Council from throughout the galaxy. Mace Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Padawan learner, Qui-Gon Jinn, Kit Fisto. And we see these Jedi at work in their role as the peacekeepers of the galaxy. Keepers of the peace, so to speak, according to Mace Windu. In Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Another all-time epic masterpiece. Written and directed by George Lucas. The entire prequel trilogy set. An all-time epic masterpiece. Including Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The prequel trilogy is the best Star Wars. And I am your host, Mr. The Prequels. And Jar Jar is the key. Jar Jar Binks is the key. An all-time epic masterpiece of acting by Ahmed Best. Not to mention groundbreaking special effects. Combining CGI, real practical effects, sets, miniatures, and costumes, including a guy walking around in a suit. Ahmed Best as Jar Jar Binks, another all-time epic masterpiece. And if you want to get the Phantom Menace, you need to get Jar Jar. Jar Jar Binks, the key to all of this. Jar Jar is the key. With Jar Jar Binks, and in Jar Jar, and through Jar Jar, it's the first time we have a character in Star Wars that's as part of the adventure, but yet doesn't even know why. And half the time the audience doesn't even know why Jar Jar's there, which is mostly for laughs. An all-time epic performance by Ahmed Best as Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace. Written and directed by George Lucas. Producer Rick McCallum. Executive producer George Lucas. The Phantom Menace. An all-time epic masterpiece. Groundbreaking special effects. Real actors. Miniature sets. Location shots. Puppets. Green screen. Sets, location, design, story, plot, characters, lighting, camera, audio, writing, directing. Any way you look at it, The Phantom Menace is an all-time epic masterpiece. All-time epic. And getting now to Jake Lloyd as Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. Another all-time epic, masterful performance. Jake Lloyd deserves an Oscar for Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. An all-time epic performance by Jake Lloyd. From a kid! Man, this kid is an all-time epic actor. One of the most iconic characters in movie history, if not the most iconic. 10-year-old Anakin Skywalker. A slave, where the Jedi encounter Anakin on Tatooine, along with Padme Amidala, aka Queen Amidala, and of course R2-D2. And on Tatooine we also meet C-3PO and Shmi Skywalker, the mother of Anakin Skywalker. Another all-time epic masterful performance. Pernilla August as Shmi Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. Written and directed by George Lucas. An all-time epic masterpiece. Yeah, you name it. Any category you want. You choose the category. Lighting, camera, directing. An all-time epic. And now for your opinion on whether or not this is a good movie. And now, nobody cares what your opinion is regarding this movie. The opinion that we're going to see is that of the creator. What does George Lucas think about this movie? The Phantom Menace, written and directed by George Lucas. An all-time epic masterpiece. The Phantom Menace. This is George Lucas going overboard in more than a few places. I dare say The Phantom Menace is the most pure Star Wars there is. The Phantom Menace is the most real Star Wars that there is. Yeah, check it out. Starting with the opening title crawl and the title of the episode, The Phantom Menace. And speaking of menace, we also meet in this movie, this episode, the first chapter of this story of Anakin Skywalker and his children, The Phantom Menace. And here in this episode we meet Senator Palpatine, aka in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Senator Palpatine, aka Chancellor Palpatine in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, aka, as is revealed in episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Senator Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, the Dark Lord of the Sith, controlling the Senate, as we are told by Count Dooku, the mysterious Count Dooku, in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, as Count Dooku told Obi-Wan Kenobi on the planet Geonosis, where Obi-Wan was being held prisoner by the Geonosians, as he was investigating the clones on Kamino, as well as following Jango Fett. Whereupon, landing on Geonosis, Obi-Wan sent a message, seen and read by Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker, as they were now on Tatooine in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where Anakin, being reunited with his mother upon her death, kills all of the Sand People, murdering all of them, including the women and the children, not just the men. And here we see Anakin turning to the dark side. But then as they intercepted this, or rather read this message sent by Obi-Wan Kenobi, they forwarded the message to Coruscant to the Jedi Council. And while all of this is going on, Count Dooku is on Geonosis with Obi-Wan, and as he tells Obi-Wan, "Join me, Obi-Wan, and together we will destroy the Sith." Count Dooku, another all-time epic Star Wars character, magnificently portrayed on the screen by Christopher Lee, an all-time epic, legendary, classic masterpiece. Christopher Lee as Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones. And so we know that this Dark Lord of the Sith, it is revealed in Episode 3, is actually Senator Palpatine, a.k.a. Chancellor Palpatine. An all-time epic character, Darth Sidious, a.k.a. Chancellor Palpatine, a.k.a. Senator Palpatine, masterfully portrayed on the screen by Ian McDiarmid. An all-time epic masterpiece, The Phantom Menace, written and directed by George Lucas. An all-time epic masterpiece. And I am your host, Mr. The Prequels. And remember, as Qui-Gon taught, your focus determines your reality. The Prequels is the best Star Wars. And I am your host, Mr. The Prequels. May the Force be with us. And we'll see you next time.